Howdy! This is Betty Carrion. I am doing my lab final for Chem 119, and I'll be talking about how to convert between atoms and grams of substances. Um, so first things first, how do you convert grams of a compound to atoms of a compound? You'll need to know how to go from grams to moles and then moles to atoms. To understand how to do this, I'll be going over molar mass, Avogadro's number, and dimensional analysis. So to start, moles are the measure of a substance. They're a unit of measure just like grams are, except they're more equal between different kinds of compounds or molecules. So that means 15 grams of CO2 is not the same quantity as 15 grams of H2O. However, 2 moles of CO2 is the same quantity as 2 moles of H2O. That's definitely helpful during chemical reactions, uh, knowing that. Okay, so how do you go from grams to moles? On the periodic table, it shows you atomic mass. That's what the little number at the bottom there is, like boron 10.811. Um, so in this example that I have down here, how many moles of H2O are in 20 grams of H2O? To figure out the molar mass, you just need to add up the different atomic masses for every atom you have of the element in the compound. So in H2O, there are 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. So you're going to go add up 2 times the mass of the atomic mass of the hydrogen atom plus 1 times the mass of the oxygen atom. So I have that down here, molar mass, 2 times 1.008, and there it is. And oxygen is 15.999. So then we have our molar mass. Molar mass tells you how many grams you have per mole. It's that measure I was talking about before. Um, Easy to make equivalencies and helps us out later down the line. So with 20 grams of H2O, you can say that there are 18.015 grams H2O in 1 mole of H2O. So you're just converting. The way you use dimensional analysis is you draw this chart guy, and you see here if you've got grams here, you'll want to cancel with grams across diagonally. That's kind of how you line things up. You know how to divide. Okay, moving on. So we know now, I talked about it before, to get from grams to atoms, you have to go grams to moles, moles to atoms. So now that we have moles, to get from moles to atoms, you have to use Avogadro's number, 6.02214 times 10 to the 23rd. It's just a conversion, just like molar mass is. So that's the equivalency there, but for atoms, it'll be this 6.02214 times 10 to the 23rd. If I have 10.6 moles of CaO, I just equate this number of moles to 1 mole. 1 mole of this substance is equals to 6.02214 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of that same substance. Notice that in this case, since we're already in moles, you don't need to use molar mass to figure out the number of atoms here because we're already in moles. No need to convert there. So we've got the different steps, grams to atoms. To do grams to atoms, excuse me, you have to go from grams to moles, then moles to atoms, like I said. So we just did two of the small steps, just have to put it together now. So how many atoms are there in 15.54 grams of H2SO4? That's sulfuric acid. All right, so looking at the periodic table, we'll start with the molar mass. 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 sulfur atom, 4 oxygen atoms. So we have the molar masses. I kind of just read them out here so you could see them. 2 times the hydrogen, 1 times the sulfur, 4 times the oxygen. And there you have your molar mass. Then down here, we get our number of grams, 15.54. 15.54, equate that to the molar mass, then we have our number of moles. From the number of moles, you can say that, 1 mole is 6.02214 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. So notice how the units cancel here. You've got grams, you've got moles, and then you're left with atoms here. So how about backwards? So that was forwards. That was going from atoms to grams. Let's go from grams to atoms. So how many grams are there in 24.2 times 10 to the 20 times 10 to the 54 atoms of HCl? Again, bust out the periodic table. We've got hydrogen, 1 atom of hydrogen, 1 atom of chlorine. We have those. We'll add them together, get this 36.461 grams per mole. Take our initial number of atoms, 24.2. Here you go. And from there, you use Avogadro's number. That's equal to 1 mole. 1 mole of HCl is equal to 1 mole of HCl. And 36.461 grams of hydrochloric acid. Again, look at the units. If you're confused, atoms cancel, moles cancel, I'm left with grams. Also, I'd like to take a second look at sig figs. To start with, we're working with 3 sig figs, 24.2. And down here, I rounded my answer to 3 sig figs, 1.47. That's 3. Okay, well, that was how you convert atoms to grams and grams to atoms, vice versa, all that. Gig 'em, and thanks for watching.